Hmm.
All right.
Ready for some home cooking?
Yeah, I've got some ribs in the smoker and some
Oh,
Modelo in the cooler.
stop it, man. See. Oh my.
I've got 3 o'clock. Let's roll
Hold up,
this
I
puppy.
need a napkin. I need a napkin.
You're gonna need a lot more than that, my friend. We'll be back in just a minute.
It's game day, baby! Let's go!
LFG. Woo, yeah. Love
Smooth, baby. Smooth.
Yeah, that's the way we like it.
Yeah, the hamsters aren't working so hard today.
Yeah, welcome everyone to NFL Nation Live, our Week 3 show. Ref Guru, along with the Hall of Famer, Wayne Violator Mabry, the legendary Pirate Captain Jack, and an extraordinary special guest this week, Pink Panther. We'll get a chance to meet her, introduce her in just a minute. But as you know, we have to kick off every week with a few things that are on Violator's mind. We'll get the chat open also in just a minute. But before we get all the craziness of week 2 wrapped up and get you ready for week 3, Wayne, welcome to the show. What are your quick first thoughts, my friend?
Well, good afternoon, lady and gentlemen,
And me?
and you, of course.
And
But,
dude!
yes, yes, and like week 3 was off to a bang. There was some exciting finishes, some exciting upsets, but I'm more excited about this home opener coming up Sunday against the Panthers.
I think a lot of people are, including maybe even the Dalton gang. So we'll get it. We'll get you ready here. I'm ready. I'm pretty sure Cap's ready. V's always ready. Pink Panther's ready. But V, why don't you kick it off for us for week 2 and tell us how you're feeling?
I'm feeling real good right now. Look, this team is kind of finding their way, finding their identity, and we saw that take place on last Sunday. So let's see if they can repeat and not take a step back.
Sounds like you're clocked in.
I'm taped up and clocked in. Let's go, baby.
Welcome everyone to NFL Nation Live Week 3. Ref Guru, Captain Jack, Violator, and our very special guest, Pink Panther. Welcome to the show, Miss Panther.
Hello. Hello, everybody.
Glad to have you with us. Hey, we know the Dalton gang is in Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. We'll get to that in a little bit after we review the games that took place in week 2. But tell us a little bit about you, how you became a Panthers fan, and what do you have going on down there in Charlotte?
Hello, everybody. I'm so glad to be here. So glad to be here. Thank you for the invite. It's so good to meet you guys and seeing you, Cap, again.
Glad to have you.
Yes, thank you. I'm here in Las Vegas. I'll be seeing you soon here at this showdown out here in the desert on Sunday.
Yeah, at least you don't have to play outside in the heat, right?
I see. It looks like it's a very nice stadium.
It's gonna be all right. Bring your Visa card because I don't think not only they take American Express, but by God, the hot dogs are $14-15. So,
Okay.
And they don't take cash. Yeah,
But,
no cash. It's all card anyways. You have to bring your Visa card anyway.
that's right. That's right.
Okay, I will do that.
Welcome to the show, Real Justin, Jay. I don't know if he's in there. I'm
Justin,
pretty sure
yes.
Ed's going to
Jay.
join us here in a little bit. So tell us a little bit about how you became a super fan.
How I became a super fan. I've been a super fan of the Panthers since 1998. I've been the number one fan since 1998. Back in when I was in the military, I was stationed at Schofield Barracks, Hawaii back then,
Well,
so I
thank you
wasn't
for
able
your
to go to
service.
games. Thank you.
Thank you.
Soldier Girl is here with me too. We did 20 years, but
Wow.
I became a fan when Eric Davis was a player there. He went to
Gotcha.
school with us at Anniston High School in Anniston, Alabama. So that's when I became a fan. But I've been with the Panthers a very long time. I know, we've been here before. We've been in these places before. Then if you fast forward, probably I started like wearing my persona, little things here and there. And I would say 2007, 8, I started doing a little something. And then kind of closer to when I got out of the military, I started upping up my fan game, and I started seeing a lot of other people like dressing out and everything. I always loved it. I always loved to see it, and I always wanted to do it. So, like I said, I just started putting some things together and came up with the name Pink Fanfare
I
because,
love it.
like I said I was on a live the other day. I was talking about this. I used to ride a motorcycle, so I rode for 14 years.
Yeah.
And I
Oh,
had a pink motorcycle, and it was named after Pink Panther because that
Yeah.
was my favorite.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
my favorite.
Cartoon.
Everybody loves
Yeah.
Pink Panther. Dun, 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 dun. So I
Yep.
painted my bike pink, and then I had the Pink Panther on there. So everybody used to call me Pink, 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 Pink. And so that's
Nice.
how I got the name Pink. And then because I love Pink Panther, and of course we're the Panthers,
Yeah.
I had to have the word pink in there, and then I had to have fan in there. So Pink Fan. And then I said,
Perfect.
since we have black fur, Pink Fan Fur.
Hey, Ed.
And so
what's up, Ed?
that's how I became a fan. But I design all of my stuff. I design all of my costumes, all of my giddy up, all my gear from head to toe. I do all my hair. I do all my makeup. And I actually started my own little business called Pink Fanfare, actually. And so I've got my social media stuff going, Pink Fanfare. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram. But
Okay.
what I like to do is help and inspire other people who would like to become super fans, because it's a calling. It's not really something that you do.
That's true. Yeah.
You,
And a
you
mission. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
it's just something that you have to have this inner thing inside of you to do. And
Yeah.
if you have a vision about how you would like to present yourself to to the public and to your team, and how you're going to show your team spirit, then I would like to help people do that. I'm inspired by a lot of super fans myself. I saw a lot of wonderful super fans at the draft in 2023 for the first time. And that was my first time. Of course, that's where I met Captain Jack. And so
Okay.
that's really pretty much how I became a fan. And
Nice.
I love it. It's about unity and community. I am part
Yeah.
of the Carolinas Super Fans United out there in
Nice.
Charlotte, North Carolina. So unity and community, and we're all about miles and smiles. And anything in the community that we're doing is going to be, uplifting other people, inspiring other people, making a change in the lives of other people. That's what we really like to do. And we do all kinds of charities. We do, like you said, anti-bullying campaigns and things like that. I'm doing some stuff with some domestic violence in the community, as well as service members and families. So, we try to get out there, but for the most part, we love to fellowship and be with our family. And so this is where we are. And I'm so excited to be here in Vegas today.
Wow. That
I
is a
love
terrific story. I have the Pink Panther cartoon's my favorite as well. In 1972, my grandmother gave me a little rubber to Pink Panther. It's too much. It's still in my toolbox. I keep it there as a good luck piece. But yeah, so I appreciate that part of it. Welcome to the show. Well, that's a great story. Thank you for sharing that. And again, you mentioned you're on, of course, the primary social medias, Facebook and Instagram. You mentioned, are you on Twitter?
I am on Twitter.
Okay.
I'm not on there as much as I'm on those other two social medias.
Yeah.
And everybody keeps telling me to get TikTok, and I don't have TikTok yet. So, because I'm
Yeah.
old school, I'm
I don't,
still
yeah, I
old
don't blame
school.
you.
So,
I don't
Yeah,
either.
it's
That's
rough.
okay.
um,
But they can find you by doing a search for Pink Fanfare.
yes, sir. Pink
All right.
Fanfare at Pink Fanfare. Yes, sir.
Awesome. I
All
love
right.
that story too, Ping.
Yeah.
That
That's
got me
pretty
all
awesome.
warmed up there. But that's
Well,
what it's about: community and
yep.
unity.
Well, and
Community.
I met Jay, I met Captain Jack in Indianapolis Airport.
Mm.
Well, when was that? Man, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Was that like 2008 or something?
Yeah,
It's
What's
been a
up,
long
Johnny?
time.
What's up, Johnny?
Yeah.
Desert Raider.
Been
Thank
a
you.
long time.
I remember. Oh, yeah. It was the first time I went to Indy, and we won because the safety iced the game for us.
Yeah.
And it's always good walking out of a stadium. If it's not your stadium, walking out of a stadium with
And
a
winning.
W.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Little
All
hitch
right.
and you giddy up. Yes, sir. I
Yeah,
know.
for sure. All right. Well, the Colts are going to need a little bit more giddy up this week after being 0-2. But let's get to close the books on week 2. Buffalo went into Miami and squished the fish, man. Put up 31 points against the Dolphins. The big news here, not only is Buffalo 2-0, but I think the bigger issue here is Tua is in big trouble. Maybe the Miami Dolphins are as well. They have to go to Seattle this week. We're not going to put Miami on the clock, but you guys, the Dolphins got to be hurting about right now.
Yes, you know they're hurting now. When you saw Tua go down and the way he went down, that's almost one of those deja vu moments with him. Now, I heard that he's on IR, so that's what, at least 4 games.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's more concerning about the health of the player rather than the destiny of the team. I'm sure they feel the same way about it.
Well, we wish him the best, of course, but going to be a tough road for Miami. Go ahead, Jay.
Good for. And again, I don't wish ill will, mostly, and I definitely don't wish
mostly.
I had to because I'd be lying if I said I never did. But on Tua, I don't wish ill will on him personally. I think that he has a lot to look forward to, and he does not have to do it playing ball. And that's why a lot of the people, including our own head coach, Antonio Pierce, basically said it might need to look at what's going down the road again, because he's had 3 major concussions in pro football in the last 2 years. He had at least one, and I would say at least one at Alabama, and they rack up all the time. Okay, so you could have that one more and be checked out for good, and you don't want that. But he's already saying, I'm looking forward to my next going back. Again, I don't wish ill will on him. I can give a flying foxtrot about the fish because I got to live with those fans here, and there's a bunch of mouths about Miami. And in fact, I out of courtesy, I didn't quite get rid of one of them. I put one on restrict because I couldn't stand listening to his crap. But I was nice when Tua got his ass kicked and the Dolphins got their ass kicked. I just did not say anything back. I said silence is golden on that one.
Yeah, Ed says a good dude with scrambled eggs. Talking about so Kev is in. He says Kev gave me a football there, but V, you got 3 footballs. So congratulations on that.
Let's run it, baby. Let's run it.
One for each Super Bowl.
That's
Speaking of
it.
Super Bowls, the Raiders went into Baltimore, took on the Ravens. Wes Henson, Ravens elite super fan, was with us last week. He won himself a Jonathan Ogden signed jersey, which I have to get in the mail because I told him if the Raiders won that, I would pull that out of my collection and send it to him. So congratulations to Wes. My God, the Raiders pulled off quite the upset, y'all.
Look, they just went in there and it started off shaky offensively, but the defense and the special teams came out ready to play. And it's all about adjustments in any game. So the first half is neck and neck, basically. So we come back and Getsy kind of started to open up the offense. Now, I don't know if somebody was in his ear suggesting that, but our O-line is still a work in progress. Yeah. And those 5 guys have to be almost like synchronized swimmers, and it's not there yet. We saw that with the run game, but that's what we got to really work on and focus on this week.
Well, they get a chance to fine tune that up a little bit against the Panthers this week, and we'll chime in on that one in just a little bit. The Chargers went into Carolina and beat the Panthers.
Wait, whoa! You just go right over me, the man that was in the stands with Jay, front row for that wonderful event, and you're just gonna gloss over it. Come on, typical friggin' referee bullshit. Whatever, I won't finish it. Boom, yeah.
That's some bullshit.
Hey, there you go. And I tell you, we were rolling hard. We were rolling hard in Baltimore. I estimated about 10,000 people.
Wow.
Because
there were more people there than that.
Yeah, well, at minimum, I told people, they said, "Oh, you were probably." I said, "No, we were rolling hard,
You
hard."
talking about
And
Raiders fans?
yeah, Raiders fans,
Yeah.
and it's like we went in there, and I said, as long as we keep it close and we keep it within rhythm. Remember, we were down 10 points twice in the
Yes.
second half, twice, and we pulled the last 13 to win that game. And the play calling, as far as the coaching, was well. You know, the fact is that we knew, okay, we got to get the 10, so we got the field goal first. Then we stopped. Then we got the tying touchdown. And then we held them again, and we got the winning touchdown. And we did everything that we needed to do. And it was great. And I tell you, to all of the people that came over to us at the beginning of the game, get out of here. We're going to kick your ass, blah, 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 blah. And all it was this. And there was nary anything when I left. Granted, I left late. And I did have a chance to nicely say something to a bunch of purple people at the train tracks when I was getting out of there. And, of course, two drunken gentlemen, I'll be kind, two drunken gentlemen let me have it. And I wasn't trying to be a phallic symbol, but they let me have it back. And I said, oh, okay, well, F you as well, because they opened it up. But it was great to be there. It's always better leaving with a dub, baby. And that's what I want. And unfortunately, Pick, I don't want you to experience that this weekend, but we will get to that. We want you to have a good time, except for the 3 hours over in the Legion. And I'll stop there.
That's some bull snackle knackle lackle lackle.
Sound like some
You
Melda.
don't want me to experience leaving there with a dub. Come on now.
No. I love you, baby, but no.
Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody.
The supercalifragilistic
Enjoy yourself for the game.
All right. Cap, anything else about the Ravens before we close?
No, I told him, I said they should be okay, but then I tell you one thing, two things. Okay. Rod Woodson was on TV, and I got this on the show afterwards. He was out of his mind about the defensive pass interference that they called against their receiver, the second one on the receiver, which gave us some new life. Okay, that was a little one that, I'm going to take it from because we call official plays that are crap, and that was a crap call. But I will say this: they missed the first one when it was the fourth down play, and the guy face guarded him without turning around and was getting into Adams's face and all this other stuff. And basically did some contact. They didn't call it that way. So I'll say, okay, we get called for the one that was a bad call, and we'll take it. The one that you should have called, they didn't, so we'll call it even. Okay.
Yeah, it was an Estee Lauder call. Makeup.
Makeup. Yes.
Yeah. Estee Lauder call. Yeah.
They happen.
Old school.
Yeah, they do.
But I'll just say, Woodson, shush. I know you played for them too, and that's where you get your money by being one of those commentators on the local, radio. But shh. That's all I'm going to say.
All right. The Chargers went into Carolina to take on the Panthers. Pretty much took care of business in that one, laying on a 33-point win. Fanfare, what happened on Sunday with Carolina? Whatever had happened was enough to get your quarterback benched.
What didn't happen? I mean,
that's another way to look at it.
What didn't happen? I mean, I was at the game in section 100s and just sitting over there thinking, well, really, I'm speechless. I'm just still like, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I really don't. I think that they still need to train Bryce. Like, they need to give him some kind of grace as far as giving him some training and some education. Like, I know, he's young. He's fresh out of school. I don't know. I was disappointed, but I wasn't that disappointed,
Mm-hmm.
I know that there was a lot of no calls, though. I can vouch for that. There was some no calls that I saw, that the referees just were blind as bats when it came to the Carolina Panthers.
Ouch.
And they they kept calling the flags on the Panthers, but they didn't call very many flags on the Chargers. And I know that I wasn't the only one who saw that.
Yeah, Brad
So
Rogers was your referee for that. The rest of the crew, yeah, I'm not surprised about that,
You
quite
think that's
frankly.
the Harbaugh effect, Pink?
I think that's the Harbaugh effect. I mean,
I
it's like
would
it
I would
seems
agree
like
with you.
I'm
they were
just
already like leaning towards the Chargers anyway. It's like
yeah,
what's going on, people? I mean,
that's a
They're
veterans fan speaking right there.
well, they're
Yeah,
not. They're going to get that again this week because Alex Kemp is in there this
Mhm.
week,
oh,
and wasn't he the crew for the Chiefs game against Cincinnati?
Oh, don't bring that one up.
Hmm. All right. Well, the Panthers will have their work cut out for them probably for the rest of the season. Andy Dalton on a short week, going to go in there and try to get some semblance of offense going against a Raiders team that's definitely going to be all liquored up after their win last week against
Dalton's 3
Baltimore.
0
I don't
against
think
the Raiders.
anybody wants the Raiders this week. What's that?
Dalton is 3 0 against the Raiders. So
Right,
that
absolutely. Yeah.
When
that's
he
a
was
stat
at
you need to think.
Cincinnati
Well,
and not 400 years old.
I think at least two of them were with Cincinnati. I don't think all of them were with Cincinnati. I think he might have gotten a victory.
Here's the
The
thing,
one
though.
with Dallas, maybe.
I
Here's the
think it was
thing.
with
Yeah.
Dallas. Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing though. Andy Dalton has not played against anybody anywhere near the caliber of Max Crosby.
True.
And Andy Dalton is now 400 years old and can't move. Probably has a one of those fancy parking stickers that gets him close to the front gate,
Oh, a
and
creepy pass.
it's
Just
going to
say
be a long day.
it's a creepy pass. I have one.
Speaking
Yeah.
of a long day, the Cowboys got whipped up by the New Orleans Saints in a 34 point smackdown by New Orleans. This is the Saints team that beat the Panthers last week. The Saints are 2-0. They're going to have their work cut out for them this week against the Eagles. If the Saints go 3-0, they're definitely not on the clock. But man, smacking the Cowboys around in Dallas was a little bit of a surprise, y'all.
Kind of a shocker to me, just the way they moved up and down the field, especially with Dallas's defense. And I expected their offense to really just run roughshod through them, but it never materialized. So yeah, I don't know what's
Well,
happening over there in D-Town.
I don't know. I don't know if the Dallas is that bad or Saints are that good, but you got to
Saints are
credit
that
the
good,
Saints for
but
going on the road.
yes, definitely
but
taking it to them.
I think the Saints are good, but I don't think they're that good.
Oh,
Okay.
they look
And-
pretty damn good at the moment.
Yeah,
They-
again, at the moment they're 2-0. And when you
Got your
have a
own
quarterback,
quarterback.
when you got a quarterback, I think his initials are DC4, and he pulls out the Michael Jackson going into the end zone. You know,
I'll tell you what, though, if they beat the Eagles at home this week, they're for real.
if they beat the Eagles, I will put a little bit more because I was saying last week they beat a JV team. No offense, I know
I
that
can't argue that. It was still a division win, though.
right, but
Yeah.
you know, but they played Dallas. They kicked their butts. If they beat the Eagles, I'll give them a little bit more.
Well,
Yeah,
they'll be
but-
2 up in the NFC for any tiebreakers if they beat the Eagles. And I know that's a big if. We'll get to that. Mike Sarah says Dalton was also with the Saints when they beat us 27-0.
Yeah, but
That's who it was.
I
That's
don't
who it
I don't
was.
know if it was okay. Was
Wow.
was he the quarterback though, or was he back in Drew Brees? Because I think he's 3-0 as a quarterback starter.
Oh, you mean
I
as
think
a
he was
starter?
backing up Drew Brees.
Yeah. I think
Either way, yeah.
Well,
but-
then it would be 4-0 technically, because again, I don't think he was the starter for
Hey,
that team. I might be wrong.
And he hasn't played as a Panther yet either.
That's
so
the other thing is
that-
they
that-
hasn't
that
or in
right
that
there, he's
offense.
already
He's
got
yeah, he hasn't going to be
He
in
got
that
something
offense for
back.
more than a week. I'm just glad I'm not the Panthers left tackle. I can tell you that. Carr played good since he was under Gruden. Huh. Mhm. Tampa Bay went into Detroit and beat the Lions. That's a little bit of a surprise, although I guess the Bucks had a chip on their shoulder as far as last season's playoffs. I'm a little bit worried about the Lions now. They didn't play well at home. You got to win your home games, you guys, and they didn't get it done. Now they got to go to Arizona and play Angry Birds Southwest. I don't know how that will go for them. We'll get to that. But you're more surprised about the Bucks going on the road into Detroit. It was a close one, but they beat the Lions, or just the Lions just not ready to play.
And I think a lot of that was, and I was listening to their coach after the game. He said, put the blame on me. So it was some of his decision making that really tripped them up. Like I say, it was a close battle there because Tampa came to play.
Well, you'd think he would. He think if he's accepting responsibility for decisions that he made in a regular season game, he's not as smart as maybe he thinks he is. Either that, or he needs to cover up his microphone because they're reading the plays. You know, he ordered of Applebee's chicken wings or whatever, and now he can't get it right. Indianapolis went into Green Bay, dropped a really good chance, I think, to get a win against the Jordan Loveless Packers. But Green Bay showed up in some kind of way. A 6-point win's a 6-point win for opening day in Lambeau. You more impressed with the Packers being able to survive against the Colts, or the Colts just not playing as well as they did the week prior when they put up 27 against the Texans?
I think it was Green Bay mostly rallying, like say, with the loss of not having Love in there. They really circle a wagon, so to speak.
Yeah. Hey, Rich.
The Colts have kind of been up and down, and it's yet to be seen them do some big substantial as far as putting their offense together. But like I say, they've got a good quarterback. When they start clicking, look out.
Well, if they're going to do that, they need to do it this week at home against Chicago. Cleveland went into Jacksonville, upset the Jaguars, if you will. Cleveland didn't look very good last week. And I don't know what to say with the Jaguars. They got to be frustrated as hell as 0-2 because they essentially gave away the game against Miami in week 1 when they fumbled the ball up 17-7. Could have put it away with a touchdown there. And now they're 0-2. Jacksonville, I don't know what's going on with the Jaguars, but they're now 2 games behind the Texans in the AFC South.
That's going to be hard to catch up because the Texans, even though they didn't put like big numbers up on the board, that was a physical game that they played.
Well, then Jacksonville's got a Monday night game this week in Buffalo, which isn't going to really help.
No.
Fortunately, or unfortunately for them, if you will, Houston goes to Minnesota in actually a very winnable game up in Mary Tyler Moore's place. San Francisco dropped a big one in Minnesota. I really didn't expect this one at all. Minnesota, they seem to look better without Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
And I don't get it.
Sam Darnold held his own. Like I say, they still got that JJ guy who can catch flies, with a blindfold on. So, I don't know if the Niners were just missing McCaffrey. Yeah. They just seemed out of sync offensively. And their defense tried to keep them in there, which they did, but they didn't put enough points up. So obviously.
Yeah, I was just really disappointed in Minnesota. I mean, it was only a 6-point loss there, but it's still a loss within the NFC.
Right.
Really just kind of surprised because that was really a winnable game at home. Richard Chase says, got some New York strips on the grill. All right. Tell her we said hello. Seattle went into New England, a long road trip for them to go in there and beat the Patriots. It took overtime to do it, but man, the Seahawks are 2-0. The Patriots are 1-1 with a Thursday game or tomorrow night in New York against the Jets. Seattle looked impressive when you can go on the road and win a tough one like that, 4 hours away.
Like I say, their offense has always been clicking. They've got that young defense that flies around. So that was a great win for them, especially over in New England. And you know how the calls go in that stadium.
Coach, you're a little early for the segment, but go ahead.
No, I don't want to hear about it. About anything.
You never do.
What's new? Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. Who the hell are you, by the way? I have selective amnesia. Are you the same guy I used to speak to on the show? I've had a lot of alcohol since then, so I'm not sure if you're the same guy.
Yeah, I'm the same smart ass that always gives you grief, Coach.
I thought you retired with Corrente.
Oh God, no!
Man.
Don't put me in that category.
Well, then,
I'm like, I might not be a whole lot better, but I'm a little better. Besides that, my number was 198. This was 199. You tell me who's better.
Index Hall of Fame.
Well,
That's all
anyway,
I got to say.
Anyway, I'm just saying that was a bum loss, and I'm just going to say it's on to whoever the hell we play next week. Even though I'm not going to be there.
Well, you got New York tomorrow.
Oh,
Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets.
Yeah, Mr. Rodgers.
We'll talk about that next segment then.
All right. Sea Chickens brought their chowder to New England. Indeed, they did, and they ate it too. Probably ate it before the game or at halftime because they got it done. The New York Jets. Speaking of New York Jets went into Tennessee, beat the Titans. The Titans now another team frustrated about being 0-2. Although in week 1 as the game they could have won, should have won in Chicago, they didn't. You know, they were never really in it with the Jets. They played the Jets well, and I know the game was sort of close on the scoreboard by 7 points, but I really felt the Jets outplayed them. Whiskey Jack may have another opinion, but you know the Jets now are 1-1 with a chance to go 2-1 tomorrow night against New England. I liked the Jets when we got the season started. We said it was a tough one to go into San Francisco and play a team in the West Coast. It's been to a couple Super Bowls when Aaron Rodgers really hadn't played that much. But if they can get into sync, they can get things going. I think the issue now is Houston running away with the division now with the Titans at 0-2 and the Jags.
Not yet. We had enough shine out there. We had all the good-looking ladies out there for A-Rod, that Aaron Rodgers guy, and he didn't partake. And we had some of the best-looking floozies everywhere in and out of Nashville and Knoxville and all the other villas.
It's the ones from Memphis that hurt you.
And I don't know why.
Don't bring the ones from Memphis. Everybody knows that.
Vivian Munn, he had Danica Patrick, and then he went real low and he got Shailene Woodley. And we had some good-looking girls out there, and he didn't partake. No babes, no shine. So the hell with him. I think he might be, smoking too much of that peyote.
Tennessee, don't be mad because he came with his blinders on, brother. He was focused.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, if Captain Jack ever went out to Tennessee, I know he would partake at least in all that other stuff. No peyote, but he would take care of some of them women. I'm gonna make sure Captain Jack's will go next time I go to Tennessee with him.
Well, you better be glad that you're at home this week against the Packers. And maybe you should leave the Memphis people in Memphis instead of busing them all the way over to Nashville.
Well, Memphis, Knoxville, Nashville, it's all of them, baby. We had them all, and the guy did not partake. I will say, good for him, but not good for us.
Okay,
good for him.
Yeah. The New York Giants gave Washington all they wanted. The Commanders got their win at home. Both those teams looked like garbage, quite frankly. Don't really know what to say much about that game. It was not a fun game to watch, but Washington managed to get it done.
My thing is with the Giants, how long are they going to stay married to Daniel Jones?
Are they still?
That's a good question.
Are they still?
Yeah, well, maybe they're separated or legally set, but it's just not popping offensively for the Giants.
Well, the Giants just need to come to Vegas for one of those quickie divorces. Who is the backup quarterback in New York?
Ooh, good question.
Oh no.
Is there one?
There's got to be one.
Why
Well,
Tittle?
it's got to be. I don't know. I saw Daniel Jones. I was like, they still have him? Like, okay.
Fran Tarkington when he's not playing for the Vikings?
Right.
I don't know. Bill Sims, Jeff Hostetler. I don't know. It's been a while.
That's a good question. That's a really good question. Well, I don't know, and I don't think New York's going to be able to figure it out. In fact, I don't think last week we officially put anybody on the clock, but
no, not yet.
This week we got to make up for it, and I think we should put the Giants, Panthers, and Broncos on the clock. But anyway, the Rams went into Arizona and got got beat.
Their horns snatched off. That's what
ugly.
Yeah.
The Rams are in big trouble, y'all. They got the 49ers this week. I don't know what to think about the Rams. I'm not actually sure I understand the Cardinals. I mean, the Cardinals played really well in week 1. Maybe could have won their game in week 1. But they sure put it on against the Rams, and now they've got the Lions in Arizona, and the Lions better be ready for that one, because if Arizona beats Detroit and the Saints beat the Eagles, the NFC is going to be
Topsy-turvy.
something. It's going to be something.
Topsy-turvy.
Drew Lock.
What about him?
I don't know. Oh, she's saying Drew Lock's probably the backup in New York.
Oh,
So I guess he's got a lock on the number 2 spot. Okay. Yeah.
Gotcha.
The Steelers somehow went into Denver, beat the Broncos. I don't get it. Now, I realized that it was the Russell Wilson revenge game, but this is a Steelers team that in week 1 scored 18 points only because their kicker had the icy hot in the locker room at halftime. I really expected the Denver to play a little bit better at home than they did in Seattle when they put up 20 points, which actually would have been enough to win this one. But you got to credit the Steelers. The Steelers are 2-0. Are they as good as they're 2-0? I don't think so. I think the Steelers at 2-0 aren't as good as the Ravens and Bengals that are both 0-2.
I agree.
And like I say, Justin Field is making his statement that he wants to remain the starter there. Like I said, I give that credit to Pittsburgh's defense, really dominating the game.
Well, they're going to need it again this week against Harbaugh and company and the officials.
Oh,
I think that the Steelers eventually, if they can get Russell Wilson's was it a leg or
his
or
calf. Yeah, his calf.
calf.
Yeah.
If they can get it to cooperate, and they'll probably put him on the block to a quarterback hungry team. Could be maybe Gabe's Giants if they don't like Drew Lock, something like that. And his wife would like to go hit the lights in New York, so that would be a win-win there. That would be a trade that she would say, "Yes, let's go, honey."
Probably.
I'll tell you what. There's a huge drop off between the 1s and the 2s right now at the quarterback all the way across the league. Please put us on the
Please.
clock. We deserve.
Oh, hey,
Yeah,
we got you, Gabe.
What's up?
Yeah, but they still own 4 championships. So Cincinnati went into Kansas City, dropped the heartbreaker against the Chiefs. Man, this was I watched this game in real time. I watched it again this afternoon. This is the Bengals team that just didn't put the Chiefs away. That's really what this comes down to. Now, I realize there was some officiating stuff in that one.
Roll! Wait, here's my surprise face.
Yeah, I know. Although the DPI call there on the 4th and 16 was legit. That was a legit call. But, because they had the Chiefs had the holding call prior, right? And then the holding call made it 4th and 16. And then they got the DPI call. So it's hard to argue that the refs, if you will, gave them a whole lot this week. But in my opinion, the Bengals just didn't put it away.
Yeah, that's like say you let a team like Kansas City hang around. It's a recipe for disaster. So,
that's it right there. Kev nailed it. Bengals miss Joe Mixon. Yep.
Oh,
they
hell
can't
yeah.
run the damn ball.
Yeah.
And if the Baltimore Ravens don't start running the damn ball, they're going to have the same problem.
They can do anything they want to because we played them already. But
well, I agree with you on that front. But you might get them again.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this. The Ravens are 0-2. The last time they were 0-2, they went 0-3, and they were out of the playoffs. So,
they got to go to Dallas this week. They might be 0-3.
Oh, they'll bounce back
against Dallas.
Yeah,
we'll get to that. Chicago went into Houston, got beat by the Texans. There's not much to talk about there unless who's Jack? Who's your?
I don't know. I'll figure it out in a minute.
Tex.
Okay.
There's Tex and then there's Houston Tex. I had to get my damn hat. Okay.
There you go. I get Whiskey Jack and Tex mixed up, but yeah, go ahead.
Jack and there's
you beat the Bears.
Whole lot of Houston. It was easy. I'll just keep it simple. We beat them.
Yeah, sorry, 8-time world champions. Yeah, that's true. There's 4 Super Bowls plus their other NFL championships. That's correct.
Don't care, Dave. You weren't alive.
Well, I know, but the Giants. I mean, it still matters. I mean, to Giants fans, it still matters whether you were born yesterday or 125 years ago. But anyway, Tex, you beat the Bears. Congratulations. By the way,
we beat the Bears. That's
the,
all
the,
I
Bear,
got.
the Bears' orange uniforms look like the Cleveland
Those
Browns, and
are-
ended up
every,
not
ti-
the.
every time they wear those damn orange uniforms, every
That's
time
awful.
they lose,
Well,
I think.
Well,
Well,
good.
wait a second. I think. Hey, Wayne, did they wear those orange uniforms against the Raiders when they played the Raiders in Vegas? I don't remember.
No,
I
I don't
don't
think.
think so.
No, they didn't. No.
Okay,
No.
but every time they wear those damn orange uniforms, they lose. It's like when the Gators wear their damn orange uniform.
Yeah.
Orange
Well, the
uniforms are
Gators,
bad.
you can understand that for the Gators, but not for the
I'm
Bears.
saying, I know it. It's bad.
Khalib got a taste of Texas brisket burn-ins, and indeed they did.
Yeah, I got some burn ends for you, but I won't talk.
I'll
about
tell
it.
you what I like. I hate to say this. I don't hate to say it, but I like the Panthers quarterback.
Bryce Young.
Bryce. Yeah, I like him over Khalib. I
yeah,
know.
yep.
I like him too.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think
Bryce,
he'll
Bryce
he'll
Young
be
needs
fine.
to go somewhere. He
I-
needs to go somewhere.
Well,
he will
maybe.
go
And
get a second dose. He'll be good.
He could
Maybe
be. It
that's
could be
right.
Carolina, but maybe they've got some issues there. Atlanta went into Philadelphia, upset the Eagles. I don't know how Kirk Cousins did this, but he's, I'm not a huge Kirk Cousins fan, but when it comes to late games, he seems to be able to pull off fourth quarter winning drives. He did that again against the Eagles. Now the Falcons are 1-1. The Eagles are 1-1. It was a 1-point victory, but that's all that matters because the win is the win. The Eagles fumbling, stumbling, bumbling around because this is the game, man. They should have won this game. The Falcons never should have been in this game. They let the angry birds poop around on their end zone, let them hang around. This is what happens on Monday night. You got beat.
Yeah, that was not a good look there for
Not at all.
for Philly.
No,
Not at all.
getting beat by the Falcons. Come on now.
I know
Again,
it's messed up.
there was
I
a
mean, I
bunch-
know it was a bird fight, but geez Louise, they're playing at home on
there
Monday
was a
night.
bunch of Eagle fans that made a bunch of memes and a bunch of different things
I know.
about when the Cowboys lost.
They beat a
And
better
then-
Packers team in Brazil than they played on Monday night at home in
And
Atlanta,
that's
and
like they had the Billy Joel song, moving out. They changed the words and said, "You got a drought or something. You got roughed out." So, but the song was good, but it was by an Eagles fan over the Cowboys. And then the next day they went out and lay an egg. So I'm sure the Cowboys fans are just going to do this to all the Eagles fans that did.
well, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out about Philadelphia's resolve when they go down to New Orleans this week, take on
Oh,
the
yeah.
Saints. Whether or not they're going to be able to bounce back, or whether that Falcons loss is going to be hanging around in their head. I'll tell you what, though, nobody wants anything to do with the Saints right now, and the Saints may be getting the Eagles right when they want them at this point. That wraps up pretty much week 2 tomorrow night, New England, and we'll skip over after the Thursday game. We'll switch over real quick to Carolina at Las Vegas, because we know we want to talk about that. But tomorrow night, New England going to go into the Meadowlands or wherever they play now to take on Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. The Jets finally home, man. They had to go to San Francisco, then they had to go to Tennessee. They're finally home, but they're on a short week. But they get a Patriots team, quite frankly, is really not scoring a lot of points. This is a game the Jets can win, should win, ought to win. The question is, will they win? What do you guys think?
I got the Jets in this one for the simple fact of Aaron Rodgers. He's getting a rhythm with his offense. He's got some damn good receivers. Brees Hall is able to tote the rock at will and 20, 30 carries a game. That defense, that defense is still there, even though they played a little wonky the last game. But I think they'll put it all together this week against New England.
Coach B?
Oh, wake him up.
Oh, hey, Coach, wake up.
Yeah.
You shut up. Wait,
Okay.
you shut up. You're awesome. This guy down here. You shut up.
Oh,
Hello, lady. By the way, you're almost as good looking as the lady I'm going out with. So I want to tell you that.
almost.
Look at Coach. He ain't lost his touch.
When I was growing up, almost was good in hand grenades, not so much in darts. So I'm not sure if that's a compliment.
I see. It's only because she's watching. You're
I
actually.
understand. No, I'm just messing with you.
I don't want to say it while she. Anyway, I say that, well, you got me so excited I'm not mumbling anymore. Okay, anyway. I think I got to drop a couple octaves too. I think. There you go. I think the Jets will win, unfortunately.
Well, duh.
And then it's on to whoever we got in week 4. But we haven't seen Drake May yet, and we're probably going to see him, if not this game, week 4. The coach has said that. I like Gerard Mayo; he's my boy, but they're going to be throwing out Drake May pretty soon.
Well, you got to go. You got to go to San Francisco next week. So,
well, maybe the week after that. So if it's not on the San
it'll be
Francisco,
over by week 5.
Yeah. Okay. Just shh. And by the way, yeah. I can't talk. I can't wait to talk about. Captain Jackson talk about that Giants kid pretty soon anyway. But
all right. Let's skip ahead a little bit real quick. The Panthers are in Las Vegas to take on the Raiders, who coming off the big win in Baltimore last week against the Ravens. The Panthers are 0-2, playing like they're 0 and a whole bunch more than that. How does this stack up? What do you think the chances are that the Raiders can put up enough points to win this game? I like the matchups, but the other thing I'm interested in is what can the Panthers bring to the table to give the Raiders a little bit of trouble?
Well, you got to remember now, even though Andy Dalton is a little bit younger than myself, but he can still sling the rock around. And if he gets protection,
yes,
I'm looking for our secondary to step up, being the ball hawks that they are, and take some back to the house.
That's assuming that Dalton's even going to have time to throw the ball, Wayne. I don't even know if he's going to have time.
I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
If. But
I don't think the Panthers have seen anything the likes of Crosby and Spillane.
Nobody has really. But
you keep forgetting Wilkins too. If it wasn't for Wilkins, right. Max wouldn't have had that great.
Well, that's right. No, that's right.
In the end too.
Yes, you cannot really double team Max now with the setup that we've got. But here's my thing, gentlemen. I'm more concerned about us getting the running game established to keep these guys fresh, so they don't have to do all the heroics in the fourth quarter, so to speak.
Amen.
Pink, what's your take on the game on Sunday?
Well, I heard you say if he gets the protection, if Andy Dalton gets the protection, and that's a big if, because I mean, if he gets the protection, where was the protection 2 weeks ago, week 1 and week 2 with Rice? I mean, I hope he gets the protection, but that's a big if. And then you got to wonder if or who, which defense is going to show up, because I don't know what defense that was week 2 last week. Like, what happened? So it depends on the defense, who shows up, and then it depends on if Dalton gets protection in the pocket. I know he's a good quarterback. Like I said, well, I didn't say this, but I actually think they should have put him in the second quarter Sunday, but that's another story.
Well,
I don't know. I'm interested to see what's going to happen. I do think that, yeah.
Hey, Pink, you know that goes with that salary kind of deal, the salary scale. It kind of works like that.
It'll be interesting to see. I mean, it might be, we got a whole lot of pressure on our backs, and so we got to come out with a dub. We got to just come out with a dub. That's it. If it's 1 point, it's a dub.
It's a dub. That's it.
We have a saying for that. Just win.
I want to experience that.
Just win, baby. And I tell you, and I'm going to say this again, this game scares me a lot, because I'll tell you why. Every time there's supposed to be a game that the Raiders are supposed to go over and just the living daylights out of us, it was like Chicago last year. All the Bears fans say, great victory. And we're walking into the stadium.
Yeah.
We're walking into the stadium.
Yeah.
It's a great victory.
Right.
It's stuff like this that gets you, where even when we went to the Nolans the last time and we got waxed 33-0, and the Saints didn't have a team then, and everybody would say that's a walkover win. These are the games that really just make my bones shiver, because we shouldn't win, or we shouldn't lose, And I'm not saying that because of Pink. We should
Yes,
lose.
you are.
But,
Yes, you are.
but there you go. It's like
You're
I,
saying
I,
it
I,
because of the
hope,
Panthers.
I hope we win. I think we win. I'm pretty sure we will win. But I can't attest to it. It's not going to be a walkover. I'll give you that.
Well, they
Yeah.
gave us Bill Vinovich's crew for the game.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know
What does
why
that mean? What does that mean?
Well,
He
usually Bill Vinovich is one of my favorite officials for one thing. Second of all, we nicknamed him on this show Mr. No Chippy
No
because
chip.
he usually gets the games where they think there's going to be a lot of back and forth because he'll shut that down so fast your mom's looking for a new switch. But so this isn't one of those games where we would expect it to be chippy. But with the way that they move the crews around, his crew this year has some folks on it that bugged me a little bit. His line judge in particular and his side judge specifically are people that are not Raiders fans.
See. This is why you watch the show, people. That guy has the knowledge.
Inside
That
scoop.
guy has the knowledge.
Yes.
I didn't look. Is it Mahalik by any chance, or is he still?
He's not the umpire on this crew. It's Bruce Stritsky. Stritsky's okay, but you're not going to get any holding calls on Crosby with him.
Well, we didn't get any holding calls anyway.
Well, I know, but yeah.
We did got a lot of no calls.
Yeah. Well, last week, yeah.
Well, now, you
I was
gonna-
just surprised Vinovich was on this call. I really thought it was going to be John Hussey, but he got the game.
He'll
in New
screw
York
us
tomorrow.
at a later time when we really need a W.
Yeah, down the road. Yeah.
Yeah,
got
but well, that's a really good point though, because if they were going to give us somebody that was, if you will, to save for later, I would have expected Land Clark or Alan X crew, actually.
They'll pull out Hussey for week 17 or week 18 when the Chargers, the Garglers, come into Allegiant and we're fighting for a playoff spot, and
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
Sorry.
or Sean Hockley.
Yeah.
By the way, Sean Hockley's probably going to. Well, I'll say it right now. In week 3, Sean Hockley's probably going to be your Super Bowl ref.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a long season. They can be downgraded for whatever, but I'll just say right now, I'll bet come Super Bowl 59. Is that what we're at?
Yeah.
Sean Hockley's your white hat. There's not
Good,
a
I'll
Raider
be able
game
to
where
get
the
more
rest
buff by then
agree
too.
with you on that. The other issue really would, as we make note of on this show, Panthers are dead last in scoring. Over 2 games, they scored 13 points. That's going to be a problem on Sunday, is that they could double that and still not beat us from that standpoint. I just think we have too much offense. I agree with what you've been saying, that we need to establish a winning game. But I think for me, the wild card in this whole thing could be Bowers.
Ooh,
As he was last week and has been so far. I think that's my cat. Speaking of Panthers, I think that I know, right? I think Bowers could create some really, really challenging matchups for Carolina on Sunday.
You got to think that I don't know if Andy Dalton has been practicing with the wide receiver, the wideout. What is his name? The new guy, the one that I guess Bryce couldn't really get to. The new guy, he's the new wide receiver. And then you got Leggett. I don't know if he's actually practiced with him or not. Maybe he did.
Well, they still got Thielen though, and Thielen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
really good point.
Yeah.
I've been surprised that they hasn't been used more, and I would think that Dalton's going to really need
Look for
and
him.
want that resource come Sunday, right?
I think he got one
Thielen and
catch
Dalton
on
are gonna have a good
Sunday.
game. Yeah.
Thielen got one catch.
Well, what about Dante Johnson?
That's his name. I was trying to say his name.
Oh, the
Dante
kid for
Johnson.
the Steelers. Yeah. He well, I tell you what, with a quarterback who's a pro and a vet, he's going to be able to feed those guys a lot more than Bryce did. providing he gets
That's
a little.
true.
If he gets that
Little
extra
protection.
half second,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
he gets that extra half second, he'll be able to do it where Bryce just was not able
That's
to.
right. And that's the veteran piece of this thing, which I hope will rub off a little bit on Bryce. Maybe Dalton coming in there, uh, will do something for the offense and give him a chance to win. But I think that just him being there and the knowledge that he brings in will rub off a lot on Bryce and what they're trying to do. And I just think even the mentorship there, regardless of the one loss piece of it, could be invaluable to him going forward.
I think the mentorship should have been invaluable last season. Like
Well,
I
that's a
didn't I
good
didn't
point.
see much of it. I didn't see much
That's a good
mentorship.
point.
And let me tell you, I was there at the game. He was standing on the sidelines. He and Dalton were like 2 feet apart, and they weren't even talking. It's like, what's going
Hmm.
on here? Nobody
Yeah,
was over there mentoring Bryce. Nobody was over encouraging Bryce. He was standing alone at some points during the game. And then when like I said, he and Dalton, maybe they were talking, but we couldn't tell if they were having conversation. But I
right,
would
right.
like to see more mentorship. I would like to see more of that that leadership
Yeah.
aspect of it
That's the
with him.
word.
It just sort of feels like we haven't seen a lot from the Panthers since Jake Delhomme was there, and they went to what, Super Bowl 29? Was it? No, 39. I
No,
think it
did you
was.
forget about Cam? I mean, Cam brought the
Yeah.
Panthers to the map. He put the Panthers on the map with the swag. I mean, I got a lot of respect for Jake Delhomme, trust me. But I think that Cam did bring a lot of energy to the Panthers. I think since he left, it's just been like this omen on us or something. I don't know. Maybe
Well,
God
I
is
agree.
trying to
I
tell
agree
you
with you on that front. I don't think that Panthers team against the Broncos was as good as the one that faced the Patriots, though.
no.
Mm.
Really?
The minute he dropped that snap on the first snap, I knew the game was over.
Hmm. Interesting.
But
That's good insight. Yeah, Super Bowl 50 against the Broncos. Yep.
wasn't Hockley the referee at that game too?
For which one?
Wasn't he the referee for that game, the Super Bowl, the Broncos and the Panthers?
Well, it wouldn't have been Sean. If
I
it
think
was
that
a
was
Hockley, it would have been
Senior.
his. It would have been.
Big Ed.
It would have
Big
been his
Ed, baby.
dad.
Yeah.
Okay, because they look alike.
They
Yes, they
do.
do.
Super Bowl 50 was Clete Blakeman.
Oh,
Yeah, because I was going to say Hockley was. I think his Hockley's last Super Bowl was 38. So, but yeah, Super Bowl 50 was Clete Blakeman. But yeah, but that's a good point though. It wouldn't have been Sean. It would have been his dad Ed. That's the point.
He's getting it this year, though. I'm pretty sure.
I think Sean is probably at this point the number one choice to get Super Bowl 59. He's due for the Super Bowl,
All right.
quite frankly. And his other peers, Blakeman, Vinovich, they've all had their run lately, and so I just think that he's probably going to be. And Brad Allen's pretty good too. So I mean, it's still early enough in the season; it could go either way. But my odds on favorite at this point would be Hockley. We'll see when we get closer to it. We'll know if we're close, right? Because the referee for the Super Bowl comes from the divisional round. So we'll know a little bit about the potential for who the Super Bowl ref's going to be once we get to the divisional round, because your Super Bowl ref's coming from there. Your wild card ref and your championship refs, that's their only playoff game.
I hope that's a bet I can make this early, with inside knowledge. If that is a prop bet, that might even be. I don't know. I'm sure if Anna's still watching, maybe she can find out. So if that is something we can bet on, because I'd take money on that.
Bet on what?
Sean Hockley being the Super Bowl referee this early.
Oh, I don't know. Probably could be. Like I said, I think it'll be him or Brad Allen. Just because, again, the other guys that are close have all had something lately. All right, back to regular business. The Giants are going to go into Cleveland, get beat by the Browns. I don't have any other comment except that the Giants
suck.
I think the Giants are actually worse than the Panthers.
yay!
Scoring wise. Points.
Anything else wise, but Panthers are dead last in points. The Giants are 31st with 24 points. The Panthers are last with 13. So your top three scores: New Orleans, Arizona, Buffalo. Your bottom three scores: Denver, New York, Giants, and Carolina. So there you go.
Well, I'm taking Cleveland at home. I think the
Really?
really.
Yeah, that's a stretch, Wayne. I don't know.
That's a little stretch, but I'm taking the Browns at home.
All right, I'm taking the Browns at home. Cap, you taking the Browns at home?
Yes, because the Giants are worse than the Panthers.
That's
Yay!
that's probably true. Let's see. The Chicago Bears going to go to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. This is pretty much an even matchup, quite frankly, but no better than the Bears are playing. I'd like to see the Colts from week 1, not the Colts from week 2. If we get the Colts from week 1, I think the Bears are in trouble.
Well, I'm taking Chicago in an upset here in Indy because of their passing game. I think Caleb has been going through his growing pains as a rookie, but he's got a damn good receiver that once they can connect, I'm not sure that Colts defense can hold up.
I think we're going to see Jonathan Taylor like we haven't seen before against that
big dose. That should be interesting in itself.
Hank, what do you think? You have any comments on the Bears?
Right. No comments. I mean, I'm gonna take the Bears though. I'm gonna take the Bears.
Ooh, all right.
I'm gonna go three on the Bears.
Damn. All right. Okay. Houston gonna go into Minnesota, take on the Vikings. The Vikings aren't as good as their 2-0 record would like to make them think they'd be. They're finally going to play somebody. I guess they played somebody last week against the 49ers. I think the 49ers had an off week. Texans don't really seem to have an off week. If they're going to drop one, interconference game on the road is the place to do it. You want to get out of this game without getting people hurt. Obviously, they want to try to win it. But if they lost it, not a huge deal. They got Jacksonville going into Buffalo, probably going to get beat. The Titans are at home against the Packers. They might get beat. So it's not a game that Houston has to win. Whiskey Jack, how do you think your chances are?
It ain't Whiskey Jack, it's Houston Jack.
Sorry.
Damn it. You got to figure out which hat I'm wearing. They one of them damn
They all look the same with that beard.
Houston.
I gotta grab a whistle real quick.
I got a flag sitting right here.
Dallas, okay.
And then you got somebody screenshot that. Okay.
Whiskey.
All right.
I gotta put my Houston hat back on.
All right.
We're gonna win. We're gonna win.
3 syllables.
Well, we know you can win at Pie Gal. What we're asking is if you can beat the Minnesota Vikings.
We're gonna win.
Okay. Well, there you go. That's all you need to know.
All you need to know.
Well,
figure out which hat I'm wearing. Damn it.
Well, I'm with you, Tex. I got Houston also going in there taking a dub.
Houston's definitely the football pick. We'll see how are the Giants worse than the Panthers. I mean, if we were bad, they were horrible. That seems a stretch, but that's it. I'm not going to argue that point at this thing.
Gabe's a good thing. And by the way, Gabe, I was a senior, actually a freshman in college when the Raiders last won a Super Bowl. So you said that I was 2 right here.
Ooh. So no, I mean the Giants are, Pink Panthers on the show, so the Panthers are a little bit better than the Giants. Is all I'm saying.
Kev says, is that Burl Ives?
Something like that. The Eagles going to go into New Orleans and take on the Saints. One of the more important games of the weekend, if you will.
Fly, Eagles, fly on that one.
Yeah, the Eagles, man, when they need to shake off that loss against the Falcons, put that behind them. The Saints leading the NFL in scoring with 91 points. The Eagles better be ready to play. I think I don't know if the Saints show up with the same running game, not maybe the same scheme, but if Alvin and company shows up against the Eagles like they did against Dallas, the Eagles are going to be down fast.
Can't stop the run.
Well, I got New Orleans at home on this one. Like I say, they're putting up too many points. I don't think the Eagles matched them point-wise. And after that embarrassing loss, that giveaway, let's see how they recover.
Yeah,
Redemption.
I got the Saints, and I hate saying it
I know.
because again, Saints are going to be 3, and all these Kardashians are going to come out of the woodwork again. You know,
I
there's
know.
the Kardashians and
Yes.
Kardashians.
The
Kardashians.
Kardashians, yes.
Kardashians are
Yeah.
"See, we
No,
should've got-"
Kardashians.
Yeah, no. The Kardashians were because I was a Kardashian eventually, okay? And all of the Kardashians say, see. I don't care. The Eagles, unfortunately, I think in 2 weeks, they're going to lose both against New Orleans, and they're probably going to lose against the Tampa Bay fake Pirates in another week or so.
Ooh,
Well,
interesting.
all I can say is
Sinful.
if the Eagles want to turn things around, they need to go down and beat the Saints and act like they mean it. Even if they go down there and win, if it's by a field goal, I'm still going to have my questions about the Eagles' resolve. They go down there and punch them in the mouth, beat them by 10 points, whatever. In New Orleans, that'll be something. If they can't pull that one off, I'm going to be a little bit nervous about Eagles.
You get the Italians from in the south side of Philly to actually put on those uniforms, and they'll kick their butts. But again, I don't know if it would be legal because they'd have knives and sticks.
Yeah.
It'd be bad, but they'd win
I
though.
would probably flag that. Yeah. Probably unsportsmanlike conduct or something like that. The Chargers is going to go into Pittsburgh and play the 2-0 Steelers. The Steelers are 2-0. The Chargers are 2-0. The Chargers at 2-0 are better than the Steelers at 2-0. I like the Chargers on the road. Steelers just aren't putting up enough points.
I got the Bolts also on the road.
I would not take the Chargers if Harbaugh were not the head coach. I just think this who has it better than us thing is just a little bit too loud for me right now.
But they're leaning on their run game because we all know Herbert isn't 100%. So they're just softening up the meat early and filleting it later on in the game.
Well, they better run away from T.J. Watt because he's been nothing but a total wrecking crew for the last 2 weeks. In fact, basically for his whole career. But, for the start of 2024, he's given Crosby all we want as far as defensive player of the year at this point.
Oh, yeah, neck and neck, I would say.
The Broncos going to go into Tampa Bay and get beat by the Bucks. I don't have any other comment than that.
No comment.
Fake Pirates.
Yeah.
Fake Pirates. Get it right.
Fake Pirates playing real football.
Yeah, I got Tampa at home in this one.
Don't tell Whiskey Jack. But the Packers are going to go into Tennessee and take on the Memphis Showboats. How do you guys like that one?
Memphis Showboats. Yeah. Hey, Reggie White played for us. We were good.
I think "were" is what you meant. Yeah, were.
Hey, Memphis Showboats
Used to be, was, never will be again.
Have been.
We won. I can't say win. We won when we were the Memphis Showboats with Reggie White back there. We were good.
Cool Cap says Pittsburgh defense going to put Sherbert on his butt.
I'll be waiting to see that one for sure.
I'd love to see that one. I'll get you some shine for that.
We did.
Oh, see?
Huh?
We got one sack on Sherbert. Yes, we did.
One? Well, that's more than the Raiders had.
Yeah.
One.
That's one more.
The passer.
And all it takes is one the right way.
Here's the deal, though. The Chargers are 12th in scoring. Pittsburgh is not even on the list. Where's
20-something?
Yeah, 26th. No, 31st.
No,
26th. 26. They're just not putting up enough points. It's not that they're not the better team physically, but they got to start. They got to get that offense going. If they want to go to 3-0, week 3, they need to start getting that offense going. If they go out there and get down 14-0,
Pittsburgh can figure it out after we play them.
I agree with you on that front. All right, back to Tennessee.
Take the Steel City at home.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, yeah? I got the Pack taking this one.
That defense has shown up twice now. If they show up again, then again, I think at some point that offense is going to have to flip the switch. Tennessee Jack or Whiskey Jack, whatever the hell you are. Whoever the hell you are.
Yeah.
Whiskey Jack, you got the Packers now who played over their heads last week in Lambeau against Indianapolis. They're going to go down and visit you on Sunday. Are you go Pack go, or are you going to bring in the Memphis Showgirls for another week?
No. Their center's going to barf all over the ball again, like because Malik Willis had to take a ball with barf on it, and he couldn't throw it because it had so much barf. If y'all don't know, it's true. He barfed on the ball.
Yeah, and nobody loves that more than the
So,
umpire.
Yeah. Well, I don't know who the umpire is, but I would make sure that my stomach's all juicy and gassy and acidy just so I can show them the worst.
Oh,
But
man.
I don't know. I mean, it's going to be a good game. I don't know if I'm gonna watch or not. I'll probably be in the sheets by like midway through the first quarter.
In the what?
In the sheets, I'll be knocked out.
Oh,
I'll
I
be
see.
knocked
Well,
out, you fuck. Don't you know what in the sheets means?
yeah, I just want to make sure you did. Well, that's an early game on Fox, so you got plenty of nap time before Carolina takes on Las Vegas at 1 o'clock on CBS. So, all right. Miami going to go into Seattle, get beat by the Sea Chickens. I just don't see Miami winning this one.
Yes.
Yes. I don't think Miami's on the clock yet, but I don't know if we're going to get past week 6 on Miami.
Probably not. I got Seattle at home in this one. The Sea Buzzards are flying high right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they smell tuna. Mm-hmm. Dolphins save tuna. Yep. The Lions going to go into Arizona and play Angry Birds Southwest. This is a Lions team that last week did whatever they did to get beat by the faux Pirates at home. They're going to go play Angry Birds. They better show up for this one.
Yeah, I'm got Detroit bouncing back this week, guys.
So,
against the Angry Birds Southwest. I got this one by a field goal.
So, Pierre, what do you think?
It's Jean-Paul Jacques, you imbecile.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
I can't remember if it's Pepe Le Pew. I can't remember what it is.
Get your friggin' names that you don't know about the hat, about the beret, about the straw hat, and the cap.
Oh, the bidet.
I know everything except about the Lions. Go ahead.
It's the Trois Lions. You don't even know how to speak English, French, right?
That's why I say Lions, because I can't do the whole Detroit thing.
Damn right. Because you an imbecile. Imbecile. Merde. You know what merde is, but I keep telling you what merde is. It's that stuff that comes out of the horse at the back end.
Yeah. Well, that's why we wear stripes, because we're animal neutral, you know.
Yeah, zebra, I know. It's the other zebra. Anyway, Leon, Campion, Victory. I don't care who we're playing, we're going to win.
Okay, well, good luck with that. I think the Cardinals are going to have trouble with the Lions defense way more than they had issues last week, against the Rams. But this Cardinals team is number 2 in the NFL in scoring with 69 points.
57s, baby. 57s for Victory Segar.
That's it.
Yeah, if anybody's into, they are definitely better than the V56s. I'll tell you that, or even the B52s.
They're at least one better than V56. The V52s work. I like that. Crab Shack. Yeah, at the Crab Shack. I'm French. That's why I get the words wrong. You know, Crab Shack. Come on, man. Work with me here.
I would love to, but I have no idea what the hell you're doing. Okay.
The B52s. Crab Shack.
Okay.
Come on, man.
I got you, baby.
Well,
it writes itself.
I thought the
Jesus
B52s
Christ.
was an airplane. We've reached the end where Caps finally shut up. Baltimore going into Dallas and play a big one. Dallas at 1-1, Baltimore at 0-2. The winner of this game is going to have to work for it. I was high on the Ravens early because of what we thought was going to be a running game that's failed to show up. I don't like their chances in Dallas against the Cowboys really any more than they've played the last 2 weeks against the Ravens and the Chiefs.
Who we playing?
The Ravens.
The Ravens.
Ravens.
Well, thank God we got the Ravens on a week that the Raiders beat them, because we're going to need some of that. Like I told you, at up where actually I wasn't telling, but I was out that captain guy. The last time the Ravens were 0-2, they went 0-3, and I think it was against Dallas. I think it was against that Dallas going to win, and Harbaugh, the older Harbaugh, is going to figure out what the hell he's been doing all these years, living off that night.
Yeah, I got you that.
Win. Jerry's going to take everybody out to get some clam dip. The Maryland crab cakes are coming to Dallas. We're going to feed everybody.
So-
It's going to be good, baby. It's going to be good.
That-
Yeehaw! How about that, Cowboys?
Well, Baltimore better figure it out because they've got Dallas this week and Buffalo next week. They go 0-3. They're probably done. They go 0-4. They are done, except for
They're
the fact
done.
that the Bengals can't figure it out. Look, Baltimore could go 0-4 with the way the Steelers and Bengals are playing, and the division's still up for grabs. Put out there, Real Justin says Ravens. Cool Kev says Baltimore wins because Mika didn't get paid.
Michael Parsons didn't get his money.
We don't have any more money. That's why.
That's right.
But
That's
but
right.
Parsons plays for the Cowboys.
Yes.
Right. That's why I said Baltimore wins. Can't
Oh,
you
I get it.
Man, you're stupid. You must have been a referee.
Well, I'm going with Tex. I got
Hey, you
Dallas
can't
at home.
you can't
in
wear
this
the
one.
stripes if you got an IQ over like 36. So
Is that,
I think 37 was the high, and I mean,
is that why Karani wore 99? That was way too much for IQ for that bastard.
well, it was technically minus 99. You just couldn't see that part on the shirt.
Oh, I didn't see the minus. I'll take your word for it.
Copy that.
No,
All right, Wayne, who you going with, Baltimore or Dallas?
I got Dallas at home. I think Derrick Henry still hasn't shown what he's capable of,
And when are we
and
gonna
we've
see
shown him how you stop him. Hit him hard early. He's
Yeah.
done. He's done.
Well, the Dallas has a defense to be able to do that.
Yes.
Dallas's defense under Zimmer. I'm sorry. Did I
Yeah.
walk on somebody? I apologize.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good. I got
No,
I got
I
Big
would've-
D.
Wayne, I would apologize to you. It's not to that bastard.
Hey, wait.
Well, thank you.
What? Oh, jeez.
I'm glad there's a line between you guys right there. That's
At
what
least
I'm-
one, yeah.
yes, the barrier, that barrier.
We're going to win.
But I got Dallas.
Yeah, I got Dallas too. They are number 7 in scoring. So I know it's only
Yeah.
week 2, but
What's our I need to get my hands right. There you go. What you think, Pink?
I'm going with the underdog, the Ravens.
wow. All right.
Ravens.
She said underdogs too.
Flying to Prince
Well,
Henry.
according
I agree
to
with
you
that.
guys, they're the underdogs, so I'm going to go with the underdogs because I'm an underdog myself, so I have to root for my own kind.
There you go.
Love it. Love
That'd
it.
be a great
Underdogs.
cartoon, by the way.
You think?
Yeah. The 49ers going to go into LA and beat the Rams. The Rams are in sad shape. If they go 0-3, I think they are clock worthy.
Yes, they've been pretty close. I got the Niners bouncing back from that loss, even though they look tired. I got them winning.
I'll tell you what, if McCaffrey's ready to come back, they needed to get him back. I think they thought they could go into Minnesota, win that game, go 2-0 without McCaffrey, and
Right.
get him back a little bit later. They can't afford to wait now with a division game on the road.
Niners. I hate saying it.
What hat is that?
It's a Raiders
Oh,
hat.
I see.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, what do I got to put cue cards in here so you know?
That would help. Yes.
Oh, man.
All right. Okay. So you got the Niners. I got the Niners.
Niners.
My game of the week.
Niners.
Kermit the Frog going into Atlanta to play Angry Birds South. This is a Falcons team that grounded the Eagles on Monday night. I don't know what to think about the Falcons. You never know which Falcons team's going to show up. They'll probably finish 8-9 or 9-8 or whatever the math is to be 17. Chiefs, this is a tougher game than I think than they realize again, but it's an interconference game on the road. A loss by the Chiefs in Atlanta doesn't really hurt them. They want to get out of this game without getting critical people banged up, right? So what do you guys think? I think that who's the official for that game? Trey Blake.
Trey. Yep.
That was the guy that was on our game, right?
Last week was yep.
See, he'll screw it up.
In favor of who?
He'll
That's
screw
the
it up.
question. I got
Well-
KC in this one though, in Atlanta.
Trap game, Dirty Birds win by 3. I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh,
I think the Chiefs are
I hope.
vulnerable if they get smacked in the mouth early. The Bengals had the Chiefs right where they wanted them, except
Then let 'em go.
when they did. They let them
Let
go.
'em go.
They let him go.
They let them go. They like TP'd their TP and then tore it all down and said, we'll give up. I think the Falcons could pull the upset. The Chiefs aren't ready to play.
I hope.
But again, it's
That's
hard
why
to
we.
beat.
That's
Kermit
why we
and Miss
lace
Piggy.
them up. Oh man.
If
Too
you got to pick one, I'll take the Chiefs. I hate saying that. God, it
I
makes
know
me
it.
throw up every day. I gotta say that.
I
Hate
know it. Well, you still got to. It's still a football thing. So, all right. So that's the Sunday night game on NBC. There are 2 Monday night games this week. Actually, 2 Monday
Yeah.
night games next week. First game about 4:30 on ESPN Pacific. Jacksonville going to go into Buffalo. 0-2 Jaguars facing the 2-0 Bills. The Bills are not as good as the 2-0 might think that they are. They're better than the 2-0 Steelers. It's a Jacksonville team now that's got to be really pissed off. Can they go into Buffalo and upset the Bills on Monday night?
No, they're gonna be more pissed off than they are now.
Wow. So
I
they
got
think they go 0-3?
0-3.
Yeah.
Wow. They're still not done, though, because if somehow the Texans drop that game in Minnesota, neither of those teams have, well, Houston's played a division game against Colts, but Jacksonville hasn't played in division games yet. So they can still redeem themselves, but that's still an AFC conference loss now that they would have against Buffalo and Miami. Remember, those are tiebreakers or potential tiebreakers for any playoffs, assuming that you need a tiebreaker, in which case they probably wouldn't. But so who has the bigger chance for the upset this week? Atlanta against Kansas City or the Jags going into Buffalo?
I'd say the Jags going against Buffalo is more
Atlanta
probable.
against KC would be the.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, no. Yeah, he said it would be a bigger upset, but he says, but who has the better chance of winning?
Of the upset, yeah.
Ooh.
I'm gonna say the Jag.
I'm still. I would say lean for the Jags. Best chance.
Buffalo's number 3 in scoring with 65 points. Remember, they played the Dolphins in Miami already, which I know it is what it is, but that's still a division game on the road. Where is Jacksonville in the scoring?
That's the point. They're not.
Yeah, they're 27th.
20.
But I would say Jacksonville gave away the game against Miami. I don't know what happened against Cleveland. But Buffalo beat Arizona in week 1 and then Miami in week 2.
Yeah, but remember, Miami was losing to the Jaguars.
No, they were 17-7.
And Etienne had the ball punched out near the goal line.
I know.
And
They would have put the game away.
The very next play, Tyreek Hill gets a touchdown, and like I said,
Yep.
the Jaguars are a decent team. Other than that, so the fact that they lost that way, Miami's not as strong as that record indicates. I still think that we talk about Buffalo. I'll still take Buffalo, but it'll be close.
I think it will be. I think Jacksonville's going to really try to punch them in the mouth, but this is a Buffalo team. I think that we've said this before. Their Super Bowl window's closing, but they seem to be on. They seem to be on a mission, and for a couple weeks now, they've shown that they're doing that. Same with the Saints. Until somebody knocks them off their perch, tough to go against the Bills at this point. I like Jacksonville's chances, though. I just think teams that are good like that going 0-3 are just pretty rare. So here's the other question: Jacksonville with the potential to go 0-3, who's better, them or Baltimore, who has a chance to go 0-3? Who's the better team, Baltimore or Jacksonville?
I'd say Jacksonville has a better chance of going 0-3.
Yep, I think so too. Baltimore has too much talent, but the only problem is they got to go to Dallas.
Yeah.
If this were reversed, Jacksonville going to Dallas and Baltimore going to Buffalo, I think Baltimore would have a chance to upset the
Oh,
Bills
yeah.
in Buffalo. But all right, the other Monday night game starting about an hour later on ABC, Washington going to go into Cincinnati. I don't think anybody wants anything to do with the Bengals right now. They are pissed off after their loss last week in Kansas City, and I think that anybody going into Cincinnati doesn't want anything to do with the Bengals, and I think Washington drew the short straw this week.
And in this one, I see Jalen Daniels running for his life. I think they're going to sick the D on him. And Joe Burrow will, like I say, he's already angry.
Needs to light it up.
You heard that in his post-game conference. So
Yeah.
he's upset. So he's
Yeah.
going to come out blazing.
I think if the
Amazing.
Bengals, this is the game of the Bengals need to go out at home on Monday night in front of a national TV audience and just open up a can of whoop ass and say, we are back. If they can't do that, doesn't mean a 27-17 win isn't still big,
Yeah.
but I think 31-13 would make a lot bigger statement.
Okay.
Cool Kev says since he wins. All right. Real Justice says the Bengals.
Justin,
yeah,
yeah.
we are going down to Liverpool to kick some ass. All right.
Going with the underdog.
Yeah. See, I actually
We
knew that
winning.
one.
Oh, Pink, you going with Washington?
Going with the Washington. Yeah, I'm going
The
Washington.
Commodores? You go-
Underdog. Yes.
The Commodores?
I'm rooting for the underdogs all week.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Wow. Okay.
Got
Well,
And I didn't even have to play Machine Gun by the Commodores.
Got
I could just do it in my
to.
head.
I was
Got
waiting.
to root
I
for
was
the
waiting,
underdogs.
brother.
If I could have had it come
Yeah.
out, I would do it. But I'd have to put it on my phone to.
I got you. I just enjoy the dance. So, hey, that's it.
well, it's going to be an interesting week 3. I think this week. So, are we on board of putting the Denver Broncos on the clock?
I'm in.
I definitely want the Giants there.
Well, the Giants technically last week, but
Oh,
yeah,
did we put them on last
We
week?
were on the
not
clock
tech.
last
Not
week.
we.
No.
We talked about it. We didn't make an
Yeah.
official statement. We got out of the last week without making it official. But yeah, technically last week we put the Giants and the Panthers on the clock. But this
Yeah.
week, so
Well,
we can
I
make
did.
that.
That's not true. I said I was going to wait until after we play
Yeah,
'em
you did.
because,
Yeah.
like you said, it's bad luck to do shit like that.
Do what? Like what?
Put the Panthers on the clock before we play them.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you want to
Bad
wait
juju.
till?
If you're scared, say you're scared.
Okay,
Uh-oh.
No. Hey, don't
Say
make
you're
me
scared,
stand
Batman
up.
can't.
Don't
So-
make me stand up. Don't
So
make
you
me
want to
stand
wait?
up.
So you want to wait until Sunday at 4:30 to put the Panthers on the clock?
Yes.
Pink is all in there. I love it. I love it.
Pink
I
said,
love it.
bring it,
Go
bring it,
Navy,
big
Green
guy.
Army.
You know
Yeah.
In
that's
my pink fan fur face.
that's the cool thing about that. That's the cool thing about that, though, y'all, is because every one of you that are on the show, been on the show, are like she said earlier about the community part of this whole thing. The football aspect of it is what brings us together, but it's the brother and sisterhood of the rest of it that makes it work, and that's what makes it fun. That's what makes it real. That's what makes it worth it. And I'm grateful that you all are able to do that. That said, are we putting the Broncos on the clock?
Let's put them on the clock and get it over with.
They're number 30th in scoring. They're going to get who they go this way. They're going to get beat by somebody this week. Where'd they go? I can't
That's-
remember already. Ref's amnesia. Oh, they're in Tampa Bay to play the faux Pirates, so they're going to go 0-3.
Yep.
And who do they have the fortune of playing next week? Denver. Oh, they go to the they go to.
I know we go to Denver week 5.
Yeah,
Week
so
5, yeah.
Denver's in Florida this week to play the faux Pirates. They're going to stay on the East Coast and fly up to New Jersey to play the Jets. So they're going to be 0-4. We're going to play them. They're going to be 0-5.
Yes.
Huh?
No, we're just. I'm
Oh.
just. Yeah,
We got
that's my
Elton
area.
John fans on the show too.
Yeah, that's
All right.
Hey,
Well, there's no Philadelphia Freedom right now until they beat the Saints. So
One
there you go.
job. One job, man. One
All right.
job.
Do you guys think Jaden would play better if he was on the Raiders based on what you see so far?
mm,
He's talking about the Washington quarterback?
Yes.
yes.
I don't think he would play better on any team right now. I mean, I think he's an eyelash above Bryce right now. And that doesn't mean they're bad. I just don't
Yeah.
think. I look. The
Wait a
I think the issue
minute.
with both those quarterbacks really isn't their talent. I think it's as much of anything, it's the system that they're in. And as long as Dan
Yeah.
Quinn's the head coach at Washington, they're not going anywhere.
They're not the problem, people. They're not the problem, okay?
Yeah,
The system
ag-
is the problem,
agree.
okay?
I totally agree.
Square peg in a round hole
Yep.
kind of thing.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, it's just
Yep.
not
I
a
would
good
agree.
fit.
And I
Yeah.
think Quinn is a great defensive coordinator. I don't think he's a very good head coach.
He's
Right.
like he's the Norv Turner of defense. He's a great coordinator, but
Yeah.
he doesn't make for a good coach.
Yeah,
And
and there are coaches that's just the way it is. Broncos get a free clock because they're owned by Walmart.
Oh God.
Well, that may be true, but it's not an alarm clock because nobody's woken them up yet.
I
that
think
clock-
I think Coach Payton is under a lot of pressure too with that new ownership.
I wouldn't
to
be
win.
surprised.
You know
Well,
what I mean?
and here's the thing: when you spent all your time in New Orleans, won a Super Bowl, and your quarterback with Drew Brees, where are you going to go from there?
I know.
I mean, really, exactly down. There's no place to go but down. There's just not that many top tier quarterbacks where you can go play and win like that. Maybe if he'd have gone to LA with the Chargers, but you can't argue the job that Harbaugh's doing there. It would be interesting when you talk about system, because I like Peyton's system. How do you think the Washington quarterback or the Panthers quarterback would do in either of those systems if Sean Payton's the head coach?
hell of a lot better.
I agree with you on that front. Yep, and I think particularly in Carolina.
I disagree with that one.
Really, you don't like Sean
Not with
Payton's
Sean
system?
Payton. No.
Mm.
Not
Come
the
on.
way he trading. No, I don't think it would be a good fit.
Talk about it.
You know how he treated Russell. Come on, man.
Talk
no.
about it. I'm
No
just-
way. Absolutely not. I would
How
not
he-
agree with him going down there with no Sean Payton. Goodbye. No.
How he treated who? Sorry.
Russell. Yeah.
Wilson, he
yeah,
treated him like
okay,
a
okay.
stepchild, man.
I got you.
Come on
I
now.
got you.
No, we're not doing
Russell wanted no part of that.
Yeah, I think that tells you a lot right there, right?
that.
Yeah,
There's
probably
just
does.
too much disrespect going around. Okay, we just need to be
Yeah.
we need to have the humility and we need to have the respect for people for who they are and what they do. We don't need to be disrespecting people.
Yeah,
I don't like it. I won't ever. I don't want to see him with Sean Payton.
that's a
Right.
good point. Yeah, that's a good point. All right, sounds good. Okay, sounds good. Everybody, thanks for joining us for week 3. It's going to be really interesting. Looking forward to week 4. Pink Panther, thank you for joining us in our
Appreciate
week
you.
3 show. It was great to have you. Appreciate
Live
your
in Las
insight.
Vegas, baby.
Thank you
Yes,
for
sir.
all you're doing. Good luck on Sunday. I hope you get a chance to meet up with all of your elite fan pals and power.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, and
Up with the Raiders.
yeah,
Super fans.
yeah, that's good. Well, thank you again for taking your time to be on our show. It was great to have you. I know you've had a long day, so appreciate you hanging in there with us while we talk a little football. Looking forward to our game on Sunday. We'll see everybody next week for week 4.
That's it.
We'll be back.
Thank
We'll
you.
be back.
We'll be back.
That was
All
pretty
right.
pretty cool. The fireworks.
Oh yeah. She's
That was-
already. That's it. I saw it.
That may be the only
Oh,
fireworks
do it
Panthers see all weekend,
again.
but it was still good.
I'm glad I did mine when I did because I can't follow fireworks.
Nah,
I know,
nah,
right?
That was pretty good. I love it.
Yeah, Cap. You know she's raised the bar now, so I don't know what you're going to do, but you'll have to think of something.
Well,
know,
I'll
I
show you
think
like somebody raised the bar. I
you,
lowered the bar.
you are
I
the
raised
bar,
the
okay?
bar, I raised the bar. I was the bar.
Cool Cap says Sean Payton's system only worked for Drew Brees. Probably true.
Amen to that. That is so 100.
I
Okay.
love it.
I'm glad we have a consensus on that.
All
right. And I agree with you on the Sean Payton part. I was thinking not so much the person, but the system. That's where I was trying to go with that the system has a lot to do with, how well people can do, right? So, yeah.
Well,
Just-
like I said, look what Hackett's doing with the guy he wanted, and Rodgers wanted to be with Hackett.
Yeah.
And what they it's a thing about
Chemistry. Chemistry.
Chemistry, good word.
Chemistry.
Oh, I
Like it.
can't leave without this comment. Real Justin in with Pink Fanfare. Anna, thanks for your service. My dad served in the military Navy as well. Wow. Yeah. Thank you for
Thank
anyone
you.
who's
Thank
been
you.
out there with your service and sacrifice for our country.
Son is wonderful.
Yep. We- we-
Wait a minute now. We need
I gotta
second
catch up,
assessment over
Kat.
here.
yeah, man.
I,
We got-
I don't know where my alcohol is anymore.
You and Barney Fife. All right, we got to get out of here. We'll see everybody next week. For those that are in there after the credits roll, we are in the green room for a couple minutes to close out the show, but we'll see everybody next week.
You
I'll
got
do it
it.
one more time. Yes!
Oh, thank you very much. I need that.